Yes guys, welcome back to my shed, aka Rise 90s Nostalgia. There is a gym somewhere in there. We're back with another video guys, and this week we're not going to be doing Corinthians for a change. I made reference in the last video that we're waiting on a couple of Corinthians to complete the England collection, the original Euro 96 collection. They're possibly, I don't want to get my address in there, they're possibly in these boxes right here. So either follow me on Instagram at Ry90sNostalgia or TikTok. Might be doing some shorts on here as well. We're going to be unboxing those at some point, and then hopefully in the next video we'll do an update as to the Corinthian collection. Remember, I'm collecting every Corinthian figure from when they were released in '95 until they rebranded as Pro Stars in 1998. Anyway, no Corinthians in this video. This week, you've read the title, we're going to be taking a look at football kits. We've mentioned in the past that some middle-aged blokes kind of get very much excited about retro football kits. For me, I kind of get that feeling with Corinthians, but I thought, you know what, let's change it up a little bit. And I've made a list, ladies and gents, because I'm very efficient with my videos. I've made a list of my best favourite, number one, my favourite at number one to my least favourite at number 22. There's 22 teams in the 94-95 season. It's the last Premier League season with 22 teams in it. And let's just crack on, shall we? Let's rank these bloody kits. Let's go.
Oh my goodness me! He just kicks! He's punched the fan!
Right guys, as I mentioned, I'm not like a massive kit fanatic. Don't get me wrong, I love retro football kits. They're quite expensive to collect retro football kits. Credit to those that do. I prefer a slightly cheaper option. We barely talk today in Corinthians. So let's get on with the video. 1 to 22. Let's start with 22 being my least favourite kit. I just want to make reference as well. When I say kit, I actually mean plural. I actually mean kits. If you go on the Premier League website, the little archive section, you can see the home and away for every single year. So I've based this ranking system on the home and away kit, because that away kit very much influences my ranking system. Ranking system, not wanking system. Number 22, I've got QPR. Apologies. QPR normally have really nice kits, and it's not a bad kit. The bottom two on my list, 21 and 22, which are about to be eliminated from the Premier League anyway, so 21 and 22 shouldn't really concern us too much. But QPR at 22, I've put in my notes that 90s kits are baggy, but I would describe the QPR kits as almost thrumpy. I've got this thing when the badge, the kit manufacturer and the sponsor are a little bit too low down on the shirt. If you look at that shirt, they're very low down, and I know they've got to work with the hoops, but I just think it's somewhat basic for a QPR kit. I mean, it's nice. The design of a QPR kit is always nice, but for me, probably not one of the better ones. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not in my, it's definitely not good enough to climb up the table. Number 21, I've got Crystal Palace. Now, I've not got a vendetta against London clubs, so apologies for the fact that both of these are London clubs. Crystal Palace, I mean, I've put in my notes, it's a kit you'd probably wear for your kids' football team. Like, I used to play for a team called Ledbury Swifts when I was very, very young. I think I started like 5 or 6 years old. And our kit, ironically, was exactly the same as the Crystal Palace kit. Vertical red and blue stripes. And our kit, I kid you not, looked exactly the same as that Crystal Palace kit. Minus the TDK sponsor. I do like that sponsor, but I just think Palace, again, have had so much nicer kits over the years. I mean, that away kit, I mean, come on, it just looks awful. I mean, all the creative kits of the 90s, we'll get onto some of the away kits that are fantastic coming up in this list, but that away kit is really, really bland. Kids kit, basically. So we've got those two out the way, and even though I don't hate them, you know, I'm not particularly fond of them, everything from this point, may I add, I actually like. So it's been really difficult to rank this season's kits. 94-95 season, ironically, is one of my favourite seasons, even though United didn't win. They could have done the double. They ended up throwing away the league to Blackburn and threw away the FA Cup to Everton. But that said, the season was a fantastic season. And number 20, we've got Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, Umbro had a distinctive template around this time where they had these little stripe things, these little straps over the shoulders, and Umbro have done that with Forest. It's not awful. I know some people really, really dislike, you know, yeah, the little strap bit over the shoulder. I don't. I think it's all right, but it's definitely my least favourite of the designs coming up in this list. Just want to double check on here the away kit, because the away kit, I mean, I haven't really seen in person, I don't think, but it's kind of that like bluey, it's like almost, you know, when you do like like choose your colour on stuff online, and you can kind of go from blue to slightly purple. It almost looks like that colour with a nice kind of tealy, turquoisey collar. Do you know what? It's all right. I think it's one of those whereby the away kit's a little bit more normal compared to the home kit. You'll find on this list that most of the away kits are completely out there, completely crazy, but the home kit, they play it safe. I mean, the home kit is pretty safe, but those straps, we've never really seen them again, have we? So there we go, Nottingham Forest, all right, but not exactly lighting the world on fire at number 19. Number 20. Number 19 coming up now is one that I think a lot of you might disagree with, especially as they've just released a retro replica version of this shirt. We're talking about Wimbledon. Yeah, Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon have just released this. Yeah, it's a retro remake, so you can get that. But it's not quite as nice as the following kit with that nice collar. I just feel like the following kit, the kit they had after this, just was a lot more interesting. Again, if I just make reference to the website on there, they do often have white away kits, and I think they had a white away kit to match that next kit. But again, it was a bit more exciting. They've got the little crazy gang thing on there, which is all right, but yeah, not my favourite kit. A little bit generic, a little bit bland. Going on to 18, kind of thinking a similar way with Leicester. Generic. I've put Sunday League. I mean, it's probably a little bit better than Sunday League, but Leicester's kit is kind of something that you probably see nowadays in like League One or something. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel quite as classy as a Premier League kit should look like. Referencing this, I've got a lot of similar descriptions to these kits coming up. They could kind of be interchangeable, from like number 20 with Forest up to like number 10, which I'm not going to give away what is number 10. The next 10 kits are a little bit generic, a little bit samey, and they're playing it safe a little bit. So Ipswich Town is definitely another example of this. Ipswich Town have got that Umbro template minus the little straps over the shoulders. They had an awful season, didn't they? They lost 9-0 to United. Andy Cole, I think, scored, was it 5 goals in that match? But yeah, they've got a blue home shirt, a red away shirt, something you probably see. It's kind of a similar template as to what Umbro would do more recently with like West Ham or something, just playing it safe a little bit. It's nice looking, it would look fine if you were to wear a football shirt out and about. But again, for me, looking at a United's football shirt, I really want to be excited because there's a lot of football shirts on this list that are exciting. When it comes to getting a little bit excited over football kits, not me personally, but I think it's quite easy to get excited normally over Arsenal kits. I think Arsenal usually do produce some of the nicer kits in the Premier League. Unfortunately though, for Arsenal fans, I've got Arsenal at number 16. I've put here controversial, I know, because a lot of people will like this kit, but for me it's probably the worst kit of the 90s for Arsenal. And that's by no means to insult Arsenal, because Arsenal's standard of kit was very, very good in the 90s. But I don't think it lived up to the previous kit, which I think might have been the Adidas one, which is a similar template to the Liverpool one we'll get onto in a moment. And also I don't think it lived up to the ones that came after. It's alright, you've got the red home shirt. It's not even a full white sleeve, it's just a partially white sleeve. The blue away kit again is fine. It's probably one of those shirts that look fine if you wore them out and about. But when you know that lightning bolt sort of blue kit's coming up, they've basically just turned the volume up on these current kits. So for me, unfortunately, Arsenal sit at number 16 out of 22. Now I've done a bit of a switcheroo, because originally I put 15 as Spurs, but then I've kind of changed it to Everton. If you look at both of these kits, again, I keep mentioning the generic thing. I think it's quite insulting to say generic, because some of these kits are really, really nice. I put Spurs, I put beautiful kits, and I think they are. When I think of Spurs in the 90s, you've got to think of like Holston as the sponsor, and it's just a really nicely well-balanced shirt. Again, I mentioned that Umbro template is fantastic. I love the purple away. I know a lot of people don't like that purple away. I really do, and I think it would look great today. I think it would definitely be one of the better kits today, but I think the 90s had such a high standard of football kits. They were so out there and crazy. These were a little bit more, again, I don't want to say generic, because purple is probably not generic, it's quite out there for an away colour, but we've actually swapped it. So let's bump Spurs up to 14. In 15 is Everton. I did originally put Everton as higher than Spurs because of the away kit. I've put a creative away kit, even though I don't like it. That's the thing, that's what made me drop Everton back down. If you look at the Everton home kit, It's very similar to the Ipswich kit. It's that Umbro template we've mentioned. They've managed to get out unscathed without the little straps over the shoulder like Nottingham Forest. The home kit's quite basic, it's got a nice trim. Yeah, going by the picture, I don't think Everton have got the Umbro trim that Man City have, that we'll get onto in a moment, around the sleeve of the shirt. They've got quite a crazy away shirt. It's like white with like grey bits on it. And I'll get on to the next one because that leads into it. The next one, I've got a place higher than Everton, or 2 places higher than Everton actually, if we've done the switcheroo, and that's Chelsea at 13. I put Chelsea, put the description for Chelsea as the same approach as Everton, but basically a better version. They've kind of played it quite safe with the home. Again, Umbro template. I think it's a little bit nicer. They've got little bits of red on it. But the away kit is that crazy. I don't want to say grey because there is a proper name for it. Titanium. There's a proper name for that away kit, and a lot of people hate that away kit. It's basically like grey and orange, like silver and orange, very much out there. For me, it's a lot nicer than the Everton one. A lot of people will disagree, apologies if you do. I just feel like they've got that away kit right. That for me, that's my taste in a 90s away kit. That's what I expect, and that's what I want. So I've been focusing quite a bit on why they're lower in the list, these kits, but a lot of these kits, can I just add a disclaimer, I do really like, especially the next one up, the one place above Chelsea, and that's the Coventry kit at number 12. A beautiful kit. I really didn't like the next kit they had when they went with the darker blue, the stripes. This is just standard sky blue, a nice white collar. It's a beautiful looking kit. They played it quite safe for Pony, that's why I have got it down as number 12, because Pony had that slightly more out there template that they used for other clubs, which I've got higher up in the list, and that's kind of why I put them at 12. It's a beautiful kit. Again, you know, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I really do like that kit, but maybe playing it a little bit safe. The away kit's a bit more out there, but again, those stripes, those colours, I think have been done to a better standard with other kits, with other kit manufacturers and with other clubs. Next one up, we've mentioned them already, with that lovely trim around the sleeve. We've got Man City. Similar to Coventry, a beautiful kit, kind of quite plain. I don't know what they've done with the logo, by the way, on the Premier League website and that Man City home kit, but obviously it's their older logo. And the reason I've kind of got this just below the next one, I may as well say the next one, at number 10 I've got Man United. You could argue that the Man City kit is a bit nicer than the Man United kit in the 94-95 season. My reasoning for having Man United a place higher is, I'll zoom in on that in a moment, is the fact that in that Man United kit they've gone to the detailing within the kit, within the stitching. They've actually got Old Trafford, whereas Man City is again, sorry to overuse the word, a little bit more generic, even though the Man City kit does have nicer trims to the sleeves. Kind of slightly Italian 90 looking Man City kit with that trim. But if you look, obviously not the Corinthians, at the kit, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see Old Trafford within the bloody material. You don't quite get that with Man City. I think it's the fact that Man United were obviously a powerhouse, obviously the major force in English football in the 90s. So obviously Umbro paid them a little bit more attention. City weren't quite the powerhouse they are today. I do like the City away though. They have gone with those Nottingham Forest little backpack strap things, but they've got the iconic red and black stripes, which I know most City fans love as an away kit. So yeah, Man United at number 10. Again, I've got them at number 10. I don't think it's Man United's best kit they've had. People tend to forget this kit. They kind of remember the zip one from the treble, the one between those two kits, the one with the button when Cantona does a celebration. This kit gets forgotten. Obviously it followed on from the laces, which again was a very, very popular shirt. So it's probably one of your more, again, generic, playing it safe Umbro ones. But have they played it safe? Because again, that detailing is a unique little factor you don't get with modern kits. They did do it again for the following kit, but yeah, it's middle of the road. Man United right there, number 10. Number 9 is Leeds. Now this again, I put on here, I struggle to know where to place these, as they're beautiful yet ugly at the same time, these Leeds kits. I know a lot of you will probably put those Leeds kits right at the bottom. Some of you will put them nearer the top, probably Leeds fans. I don't think the home kit was quite as nice as the following one, when they had that rather retro looking Tony Yeboah famous kit. But I do like that blue and yellow little trim they've got along the waist. I'm not sure about that away kit. It's very 90s, it's very out there. I'm not sure if I do like it, but the fact that it's A6, and I love an A6 kit as well, especially in the 90s. So yeah, number 9 is Leeds. Number 8 I've got as Norwich. Similar to Leeds again, I struggled with Norwich because there's arguably nicer kits on the list. But it's just so 90s. Everything about those Norwich kits are just so 90s. Look at that away kit. Who the hell would do that for an away kit in this day and age? The home kit as well. It's got the Mitre make it, and obviously Mitre were famous for making the Premier League balls, the Ultimax and stuff. So again, that was a factor in my positioning. But yeah, it's about as 90s as you're going to get that Norwich kit, and for that reason, I like it. Yeah, number 7 is Newcastle. They probably had more iconic kits in the 90s, probably the one that followed when they were the entertainers, when they had Les Ferdinand, Shearer and stuff. But any kit made by A6 in a black and white stripes with the Newquay brown blue star logo is obviously going to rank high on the list by default. They're just such beautiful shirts. The away shirt's really nice as well. So yeah, I've got Newcastle at number 7. Pretty good placing right there. Number 6, I've got West Ham. They've kind of gone halfway with the template. They've got that famous template I was mentioning that Pony had in the mid-90s. They've not gone all out like Southampton did. I'll mention them in a moment. But they've definitely got a glimpse of that. And claret and blue shirts always look really nice. And you just can't dislike that shirt. I don't know who could dislike that West Ham shirt. You've got Dagenham Motors as a sponsor as well, quite a popular sponsor. Quite an iconic kit. I think, was Julian Dix wearing it, or did he come after? Was he at Liverpool still at that time? I don't know, but very, very nice kit. Speaking of Liverpool, I'll be honest, I'm normally quite critical of Liverpool kits. Shock, I'm a United fan. I'm not being biased here. I do genuinely think that Liverpool have had some of the worst kits over the years. As Man United have had some quite ugly kits as well, but Liverpool's kits are normally really, really basic. If you see the new kit that's been released for next year, the 23-24 season, all they seem to do, Nike, is just change the collar and change the sleeves. But that iconic Adidas template that must have been good, because Adidas have just released a whole range based on that template now in 2023. I mean, I've not got it on me, but United have got a similar top to this with like the Adidas stripes along there. That Liverpool shirt is an iconic shirt. I think Arsenal had a similar one in the season prior before they went to Nike. And yeah, I've got Liverpool at number 5. This has to be one of their best shirts, definitely their best shirt of the 90s in my opinion. Number 4, we're on to the top 4 now, the big 4. We've got the champions of the Premier League during that time. Can't really see the kit on a Corinthian, but their main man, Alan Shearer. When you've got half blue and half white as your kit, I think it's easy to create a nice kit. But I've actually not ranked Blackburn at number 4 because of their home kit. I've done it because of their away kit. I really like that red and black stripe. Those kind of pinstripes that a lot of teams had in the 90s, I just think are really, really nice. I'd probably rank them at number 4 as well, because we all look back with a bit of nostalgia. Even if your team did lose the title to them, it's kind of quite nice to look back and think, yeah, Blackburn won the league in that 94-95 kit. It's got the McEwen's Lager sponsor. It's got A6. Why did I even have to think about that? Of course they've got bloody A6 as the kit manufacturer. Lovely home and away kits, and they deserve to win the Premier League based on the kit alone. Fortunately, they didn't win this list, because number 3 on the list, I've got Sheffield Wednesday. Just an all-round beautiful shirt. I've put, it's everything I look for in a 90s football shirt. And this shirt reminds me of a guy I follow on Instagram. Check him out, Woody, Sheffield United fan. Oh shit. Sheffield Wednesday fan. Sorry Woody, Sheffield United fan. Jesus Christ, what am I going on about? They're not even on the list, they're not even in the Premier League. Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, I miss Sheffield Wednesday being in the Premier League, especially when they had beautiful shirts like that. Sheffield, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not United. Top 3, good place in there for Sheffield Wednesday. Number 2 on the list, I've mentioned them already. Shall I mention them now? We've got 2 teams left. Can you write in the comments below what those 2 teams are? I'll give you 10 seconds. 2 teams left we haven't mentioned yet. One of them's behind me. There we go, I gave it away. One of them's Villa. But no, number 2 isn't Villa, number 2 is Southampton. When you think of that iconic pony shirt, you think of Matt Le Tissier, you think of that skillful thing where he flips it over the defender's head and slots it in the goal at the Dow with Street Fighter in the background. Such a beautiful iconic shirt. I've looked at that shirt numerous times on eBay, and if I come across a really nice one at a good price with Le Tissier on the back, I don't think it'd be reasonable of me to think I could get one at a good price, because they're very much an in-demand shirt. Such a beautiful bloody shirt. I mean, love it or hate it, that pony template is out there, and for me, the greatest ever Sheffield What's wrong with me? Greatest ever, I'm getting tired now, greatest ever Southampton shirt to be made. Number 2, respectable finish right there. Last but not least, and this has definitely been influenced by my nostalgia, because before I become a United fan for many years, as a youngster from the age of like 3, 4, 5, 6, there was a battle between my mum and my dad, who's a United fan. My mum's a Villa fan, as to who I'd support. My mum and dad are separated, so obviously I'd go to Villa with my mum and Old Trafford with my dad, and I would even go to Wolves with my stepdad. And I had that dilemma to make, being a kid, being a Glory fan, as most kids are in the 90s, and I obviously loved Beckham and some of the players. I chose United, but I've always got a soft spot for Villa, especially the pinstripe shirt over there. The Muller shirt is such an iconic shirt. We've thrown that word out there, iconic, numerous times in this video, but I put iconic. Am I biased because it's my first ever football shirt? I'm pretty sure that was the first ever shirt I was bought. I might have had, I don't think I had the Mitre Copiers one. I know my cousins did, the one with the laces, the one with Atkinson doing that glorious goal. I think the Muller shirt was my first ever shirt, and I love it. I love pinstripe shirts. We've had a few in here. The Blackburn away was lovely, but I just think the Villa away as well, the green one, again, some people might have hated it. I absolutely love it. You've got A6 as the kit manufacturer, you've got pinstripes, you've got Muller as the bloody sponsor. What more could you want from a 90s football shirt? There we go, number 1, Aston Villa, the Muller shirt. Whew. I wore this bloody jacket because it was freezing in here when I started the video, but now it's absolutely baking. So ladies and gents, I took a little bit longer than I thought. Thanks for watching the video, thanks for seeing this video out. Let me know in the comments below, what were your favourite kits on the 94-95 season, maybe even do your rankings 1 to 22 in the comments below. There we go, and I'll see you in the next video for some more 90s nostalgia. Oh yes!